All right, guys. So I don't want to hype you guys up. I don't want to rattle you guys. But I was at my local thrift store. I was at a bit of a comic book um kick. I don't know, like a comic book fiending. I was fiending for comic books, bro. So I was at my local, well, not local. I went to a lot of far outreaching thrift stores, and I was on the search for physical media because the thing I love about physical media is that it gets you out of the house. It gets you to those damn thrift stores. It gets you to the garage sales. It gets you out into the world. It has you talking to old ladies that have collections in their garage from their husbands and stuff like that. I was at my at I visited a Savers. If people don't know what that thrift store is, Savers, some of them are pretty good. They have some good stuff, um, but others are insanely overpriced. I seen like a little bag of Sonic the Hedgehog toys for $80, bro. All right, so I seen some comic books and I seen this comic book and right away I snagged this bad boy because of the name. But I'm going to show you the ones that I got after. I got Robotech book 2, not a first print, and another Robotech. Robotech is one of those shows that I'm not sure if it's an anime or a American um, comic book or American show. I know there's a cartoon, Robotech cartoon. I think it might be American, but it looks anime-ish. It looks like anime, and it could easily be confused with anime, but it's actually American cartoon. So I got the Robotech, but this was the one that started it all. Whoop. This I was just minding my own business, and there was this comic book right there, and I just seen the name on the top, and I was like, "Ooh, I know that guy. I know he's an artist," and it was Jim Lee. Jim Lee Wildcats, and it's like a holographic type um comic book. It's from the 90s, and it is a first print. I looked at it, it said first print. Holy moly, beautiful. I get to see Jim Lee's art, and I was watching a lot of these older shows with Stan Lee and a comic book artist. You would see him talking with Todd McFarlane. I don't know if he did anything with Frank Miller, but I'd be looking at Frank Miller interviews, a lot of comic interviews, and Jim Lee. I see a lot of Jim Lee videos, and him drawing Spider-Man. And when I saw the name Jim Lee, literally the freaking comic book just went right into my hand. I didn't even move towards the comic book. The comic book just went it went to my hand, bro. It magnetoed into my hand. So I saw it. It's got this cool little like there's sports cards with this effect. I forgot what the hell they're called, but they're usually like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 3. Um and I saw it and I was like, hell yeah. I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's coming home with me. So yeah, the comic books are out there, bro. You gotta get out of your house and look for them. You're not gonna. I found a big stack of comic books there, but a lot of them were not bagged and boarded. This one was not bagged and boarded. This is me putting it in a bag and board, but it was in a bag. It was in a comic book bag. It was taped shut, and it had no bag and board. So, I mean, it had no board, but nevertheless, it's in pretty damn good condition. There might be like little wrinkles here and there, like where the staples are at. Tiny ones. So, absolutely love this. But yeah, there was a huge stack of comic books, and using my knowledge of newfound knowledge of comic books, I seen a lot of them were the first editions, the first prints, first volumes of certain sets, Batmans and Robins, but they were not bagged and boarded, and the damn savers put the sticker right on the back of the comic book, and I said, "You bastards. You ruined the comic book. Now it's not a collector's item. Now it's not something to be prized. You literally soiled a work of art." So I passed on a lot of them. Condition was so rough. The ones that were not bagged or boarded and had the sticker on the back, I said, man, I'm not gonna buy those. No one's gonna buy those damn things unless it's like $1,000 comic that I didn't know about. But I didn't check the prices. Usually I say, you know what, Jim Lee, that's money in the bank right there. I don't have to check for prices because it's Jim Lee, bro. It's money. It's just money. It's money, bro. So, beautiful comic book from the 90s. This is the stuff they were throwing out. I don't know if they made millions of copies of these, but oh my god, I was so happy when I bought this. It was $3. The other two was $3 for two. They had one comic book in back of another, so I got two of them. But this was worth every penny of $3. I'll pay $3 for this all day, every day. I could see all these holographic special ones like this. They're just so cool. I like the covers. Very nice. The designs are amazing. Wildcats. I might read this. So let's see how good it is. Very nice. And it is Image. It is the Image comic. So would have been cool if it was Marvel. But Jim Lee is Jim Lee, bro. So excited. Maybe one of these days I find one that's autographed in the wild. Part of the thrill is the hunt, the discovery. These thrift stores, man, they don't treat their stuff nicely. And I'm pretty sure they have a comic book guy. That one probably didn't have a comic book guy, but I don't think if they had a comic book guy, this would have never made the floor. So I'm hopefully find more cool copies and the adventure continues. Physical media, so much fun.